going, you guys? NewAge here with our next week's episode of our top 10 anything goes Pokemon. Now, this week, you'll see what I did. This week we're going to be doing our top 5 Gen 1 shiny Pokemon. Now, the reason I'm doing Gen 1 and breaking it up into generations is I don't really know how other people could do it. I can't really choose just 5. Or even 10 for that matter, of all 718. That's just too many, or 721, whatever you want to call it. That's just too much. That's too much to choose from. No way I could break it down. I like way too many shinies. There are some really good ones out there. And so I figured I'd break it down by generation. So I'm not going to do like all the next 5 videos will be Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4. They're going to be kind of spread out just because I have plans for other videos as well for top 10s in between. But I will get around to all of them eventually. So this time I'm doing Gen 1. I am only doing top 5 for each gen because there's not exactly 10 that I can think of from every generation that I like that much. But 5, no problem. I can narrow that down in between each generation. So remember to leave your top 5 Gen 1 shinies down below. And without further ado, we are going to jump right in. So for number 5, we have got ourselves Eevee. Now, Eevee is one of those Pokemon that it's cool because it looks like it's white. It's silver, it's not white, but it looks like it could be white. And the story for this one is, honestly, it's more just, I think it's white, so I think it's cool. Because when I see it, I think all the evolutions are different colors based on what type they evolve into. So if you think about it like that, basically white is all the colors put together. So it would be really cool if shiny Eevee were white. So that's just what I think every time I think about it. Even though it's obviously not white, I still can't help but think of it being that way every time I see it. So shiny Eevee, looking nice and cool. Silver, I'm cool with it just because I can pass it off as white. So that's going to be my number 5. Moving on now to number 4. So for number 4, we have got Weezing. Now, granted, I don't really have as much of a story to back up Weezing as I do for Eevee. But one of the things you'll start to realize as you see me do more of these top shiny videos is that I am a sucker when it comes to shiny Pokemon that are teal. I just can't help it. I don't know why. Teal, I just think is a really cool color that looks really good, especially on Pokemon. So Weezing, no exception to that. But one of the things I really like about it is not only does its body change to teal for its color, but the smoke or the gas that comes out of it actually changes color as well, and it changes to purple, which is really cool because I think that just more so represents like the poison type Pokemon in Weezing and all that good stuff. So Weezing, that is going to go ahead and be my number 4. Moving on now to number 3. So for number 3, we're going to keep it nice and simple here. My number 3 is going to be Arcanine. Now, like I've said before, fire types being gold as a shiny, it's just too easy. It just goes together so great. It looks so good, and you can that's all I have to say. You can just never go wrong. Beautiful, powerful. Doesn't get much more simple than that. So Arcanine, you're gonna go ahead and be my number 3. Moving on now to number 2. So speaking of fire types and shinies, another color that you can't go wrong with is black, which is why my number 2 Pokemon is going to be Charizard. Now, this was actually one of the first shinies that I had ever seen when I found out about shinies in general, that there was such a thing as shiny Pokemon. And this is a pretty good one. I mean, it's basically like, how do you take one of the most legit looking dragon type Pokemon and make it look even more fierce? basically all you do is you make it black. And one of the best things, or another thing that's great about it too, is Charizard X is teal. So you get a black Charizard, you Mega Evolve it into Charizard X, and basically you got the best of both worlds right there. So that's why Charizard is gonna go ahead and be my number 2. So last but not least, we have got number 1, and that number 1 shiny Pokemon is going to be Dragonair. Now, Dragonair has to be my number 1 just for the fact that it has so many nice colors on it. I mean, first off, you have the white, which of course is on the regular Dragonair, but white looks good on a lot of things, so that's good that they kept that. And then you look at the gems on its neck and tail, and you've got like this really deep, nice orangish yellow color. And then what do they do to top it all off? They go ahead and make its body purple, which purple looks great with yellow, so they basically just did everything right. And other than that, the main reason why Dragonair has to be my number 1 is because Dragonite is so horribly ugly. It's just the worst shiny Pokemon I've ever seen. And in my head, the only thing that justifies why Nintendo would make such a great Pokemon look so bad as a shiny is because they realized that they made Dragonair look so good, and they completely outdid themselves, that the only way to balance out how good Dragonair looks is by making Dragonite look just so bad. So Dragonair going to go ahead and be my number 1, and that's going to be my top 5 for my shinies in Gen 1 this week. So go ahead and make sure you leave your own top 5 Gen 1 shinies down below, and if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to see more, you could subscribe to my channel NewAgeSteel if you haven't already, where I upload multiple videos every single day. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, where I post first-hand information on when I upload videos to the channel. So until then, I'm NewAgeSteel, keep on watching, and I'll see you guys next time.